Okay, so in this video we're going to look at pricing again, okay, but we're going to look at factors that we might consider as an organisation when we are setting a price, okay. Quite a few of these things to consider when we're setting a price. Okay, so first thing we might look at is what is our competition, okay. We look at the market or competition. We might change our price depending on what our competition do. They have a massive impact on what we're going to do as an organisation because we need to be competitive. It doesn't mean we always have to charge what our competitors are doing, but we have to have a good guide of what they're offering and what we're offering. Potentially we might be charging higher or lower pricing depending on what our offering is, okay, depending on what that mixture is of the marketing mix. Okay, as well as this is what are customers actually willing to pay in our segment. Okay, see for example, if we look at income, they might have a lot of money, they might have a lot of disposable income, so we can charge them higher prices and they're quite happy to pay that. Okay, so it might be depending on our market segment and depending on what area we are targeting. It could be quality as well. How quality is your product? Okay, it's a high-end quality. Okay, the more market image may mean that we can charge a much higher price. Okay, maybe even more than the product's really actually valued at. So see if you look at Gucci, it's probably not 10 times better quality than something that is maybe bog standard quality, but sometimes you can charge 10 times the price. Okay, image kind of ties in with that as well. Image and quality. What is the image of your brand? Is it a luxurious brand? It kind of ties in as well. The more upmarket that image is, the more we can charge for it. Doesn't always necessarily mean that the quality and image is the same. Like for example, if your Grey Goose jacket is 3 times more expensive than a North Face, but it could be that image, that pristine image that they're looking for, that we can charge that premium price. All right. Sometimes it's actually just about cost of production. Okay, what does it cost us to produce the product? So we need to take in the cost of labour, materials, rent, all that kind of good stuff. So then we can actually get a good idea of how much it costs to make the product. Then we can try and gauge how much we want to profit, we want to make on top. As well as this, another one that leads on to this is the supplier's price. Sometimes if the supplier puts up their pricing for raw materials, we may need to put up our prices as well, make pass that on to the consumer. So it could be about the actual supplying price as well. Okay, profit made by the company. This could be a business objective. Okay, if we're thinking about the cost of production, one of our business objectives might be make X amount of profit. Therefore, what we do is we might say, okay, we're going to look at the cost of production and we're going to add on 10, 20%. So our business objective might be increasing profit by 20%. Therefore, we maybe need to do that through the pricing, have a good idea of how much it costs to make, and our pricing wants to be 20% more or something like that. It could be about the demand for the product. Okay, the higher the demand for the product, the more we can charge. So if you have a good gauge of how much the demand is for the product, okay, we can charge higher prices. For example, just now it's near Christmas time, the PlayStation 5 has just come out. A massive high demand, so they can charge slightly more for that. Okay, if the demand is not as much, it might not be able to charge as much. Okay, some more. Okay, for finding the right price, some of the factors we may consider is where is our product on that product life cycle. Okay, remember introduction growth, that might be when we do some, if we are a technology company, we might do some price skimming. Okay, but if we are actually at maturity, maybe tipping on the decline stage, maybe that's when we start to change the actual price of the product as well, because remember that doesn't needs to be a constant, it can change over time. So depending on where a product is in the life cycle, that might give us another factor of how much we're going to charge at that time. Okay, the place where it is sold, okay, that maybe ties back to the image. Okay, where are we actually being sold? Is it a luxurious mall or is it in a market? Maybe that's some different, that kind of where it's sold. That place part can be a massive impact on the price as well. Okay, one of the other things is, what is the economy like? Okay, are we in a recession? Things not going so well in the economy? Are people unemployed? Is that people maybe have less money to spend? That can have a massive bearing on how much we charge. That's going back to those external factors in the economy. If the economy is not doing so well, maybe it's harder to charge higher prices, okay, because maybe people don't have as much money to spend. Just like as well, if we're in a boom period, maybe there's low unemployment, a lot of money going about, okay, high interest rates, all that kind of good stuff, we might be able to charge more for our products. Okay, government pressure. Sometimes we get some government pressure on industries to charge certain prices. For example, good few numbers of years ago, the government got involved in trying to kind of set pricing for mobile calls to make them more attainable for everyone. Same with the internet just now. They're trying to make that price a little bit smaller so that everyone can gain access online. Okay, this is pretty much just what we've just said, but in a kind of list. So if you want to pause it at some point and take a little look at this, so these are the factors we would consider when we are setting a price for a product.